and most retweeted tweet by an individual associated with the National Football League. That was an interesting one as well. But right now, let's get a Chris Command Center news update brought to you by our friends at Honda.
And now, Law and Brockman with the news.
The 2017 Honda Ridgeline. It's innovative, it's roomy, it's comfortable, it's spacious, it's beautiful, it's luscious, it's all that good stuff that you would not sometimes think is associated with a truck. But then everything that you think is associated with a truck is right there as well. It's a great way to experience a difference for yourself. Go to the local Honda dealer today and test drive the Ridgeline. Christopher?
Yeah, starting with a couple of big injuries in the NFL. Terrell Suggs believed to have torn biceps in his left arm. You know, Ravens got a top 5 defense this year.
Sizzle, really?
Sizzle went down, yeah. We're trying to decide whether or not he's going to play through it. Had a similar injury to his left arm in 2012. Played the rest of that season. So Sizzle getting up there in age, coming off of an Achilles. He's got a decision to make there. And we know Ben Roethlisberger, he's having surgery today on his meniscus. Steelers have a bye week coming up in week 8. So he's probably going to miss this week against the Patriots. And Dante Hightower, Patriots linebacker, was on EEI today and asked if they'd rather face Ben Roethlisberger. You know, to be the best, you got to beat the best. And give Dante Hightower some credit for his honesty. Said, no, I would not. Hey, best shot and all that stuff, but I want to win. Whatever we can do to get that edge, not having him out there, that's a pretty big edge.
I like that. I don't have a problem with that. I do not have a problem with that. Yeah, of course I want Big Ben there. I want to win. Guess what? They went 4 freaking weeks without TB12 and the FU tours coming back. Now, I think that will help, that Brady's pissed. Not that he's in any way, shape, or form less competitive than he normally would be. But hey, everybody goes through stuff. Everybody goes through stuff. The Patriots stuff was brought upon by Ted Wells and all that sort of business.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have no problem with Hightower doing that. And as for the Ravens, man, once upon a time, 3-0, they almost beat the Giants yesterday. Did you see who was inactive in that game? C.J. Mosley,
Everyone.
Steve Smith Sr.,
Yeah.
Ronnie Stanley, Marshall Yonda. I know I'm missing some.
You changed your pick because of it.
I did. And if it wasn't for Odell Beckham going crazy, Jimmy Smith went down during the game. That was a big game changer right there. So I wonder if they left some stuff there because they're right back in the same building to take on the Jets next week. What do you have, Law?
Going to tennis, Rich. Nick Kyrgios, we know him from last year for kind of
Not caring.
mocking
Tanking.
Stan Wawrinka, tanking in the match.
He's
suspended by ATP then.
One of the world's worst. There's no
Suspended
question.
again for his antics at the Shanghai Open and fined $25,000 by the ATP. Tanked in a match again. You know how when you or I play tennis, people that can't... I mean, I'm sure your game's pretty good. You're out there with Susie, but you know, the first serve doesn't go in and you kind of throw up the second one and you don't want to double fault. He essentially is doing that in his match, walking away, turning his back before the opponent even returns the ball, then got into it with the crowd. So the ATP Tours fined him for 8 weeks and suspended him for 8 weeks, fined him $25,000. He's eligible to return 1 day before the Australian Open, obviously played in his home country.
Yes.
He's also in a spat with Australian tennis folks. As we know, he didn't go to the Olympics.
These guys, let me tell you something. I spent 3 summers covering this world at the U.S. Open. There's nothing wrong with this world. This world is like one of the real world doesn't exist inside this tennis world. It really does not.
He's coming off a win too. He won the previous tournament.
You get everything's free, and you get to play tennis. And you know, depending on what you like in this world, there's something for everybody in this world. Do you understand where I'm going with that? I mean, if let's say you're a single man, you're a single woman. Well, it's unbelievable world. What is Nick Kyrgios pissed off at? What a dope.
There's a lot of people pissed off at Nick Kyrgios, though, because the punters in England, 96% of the money was on Kyrgios to win that tournament or to win that match.
Well, let me tell you something, too, just in case. And I don't care because I don't. You know, I do believe at the Patriots-Seahawks Super Bowl play some tennis, with McLovin, right?
We did.
When we were all hanging out there with the DP
we played
crew.
with McLovin. Yeah.
It was the 3 of us in McLovin, right?
Yes.
And Did Paulie come and watch some of that
I think
too?
Paul swung by
There
towards
one
the
end,
end.
He
okay.
watched kind of the end.
As you
yeah.
guys know, all right, my backhand is a is a weakness. I've got a cross-court winner on the right-hand side,
Pretty
man.
sure you smoked it down Brockman's alley a few times.
I mean, cross-court winner.
I might have broke a couple rackets during that match.
That was odd.
That's weird.
That's odd that you would have
Yeah, it's weird that I would
poor attitude
melt down like that.
in a competitive spirit.
So it was Rich and I versus you and McLovin. And Rich's strategy at one point was every time I'm going to Brockman because you kept getting so mad and
Hey,
shutting down.
I was
Look,
getting very mad.
I'm like the cover corner, and you're like Odell.
I had a couple
Okay.
Odell moments.
You
yeah.
were just going to lie down in the net.
I might have to propose to a racket here next tomorrow.
Is there anything else from the Chris Command Center that I need to know
It's a
about?
short news day here.
Yeah,
over at
not
the
a lot
Command
going
Center.
on.
Well, I mean, look, it's all
Monday.
football related right now, and the baseball stuff. You know, the Indians' Twitter accounts kind of tweaking
Yeah.
the Blue Jays, but it's
The Bulls and Bucks had a trade today in the
why
NBA.
is Michael Carter Williams
yeah, Tony
getting traded
Tony
all the time?
Snell and Michael Carter Williams flip flopping.
Rookie of
I
the
turn,
year.
I turn to my Syracuse guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't
I
he
don't
Isn't
know.
he supremely talented?
He does have talent. He's a 6'7" point guard. I guess the knock on him is he's really good on bad teams, and he's not really a guy you want leading a playoff team. I'm not sure what the deal is.
We're
with
a
him.
week away from the NBA season starting, and every single thing having to do with what the Warriors are saying and what the Warriors are doing, and the Cavs will be that team that has the chip on their shoulder, even though they won it all,
Do you
because
think-
nobody's paying attention to them. Are you ready for these storylines? It's going to be.
I am. I'm actually kind of excited. Now, Miami, when they had their big three, they were not able to embrace being the villain. You know, LeBron couldn't do it. He couldn't wear that black hat.
Right.
Do you think this Golden State team has the black hat in them?
There's one individual that will have no problem doing it.
Well, yeah.
We all know who he is.
Yeah, we do. Draymond Green will
He will
totally
have-
embrace that
and
role.
he will be the guy who takes the bullet.
I mean, he's telling Paul
figuratively
Pierce
that-
nobody cares what he's
He'll
done.
be that guy.
Only an NBA champion.
He'll be that
Finals
guy,
MVP.
and what he needs to do is wear that, but don't take the bait when others will try to bait him. Same thing with Odell Beckham. That's coming for Draymond Green. I would do that. I'd try to bait him. I'd get in his face. I'd try this. I'd try that. Please, this is now figuratively. I would say to my guys, please try and get him to kick you in the balls. Seriously, that's very rare coaching philosophy.
But that basically cost them the championship this year.
Yeah, it did.
Him getting suspended changed that whole
was
series.
The turning point. I would much rather him watch an Oakland A's game with Marshawn Lynch than suit up
Yeah.
against me in an NBA Finals game. Yes. 100 times out of 100. Back with your phone calls and the Twitter most tweeted about play of week number 6. That's when we come back here on The Rich Eisen Show.